Okay, let me know if you can hear me. At least I hope you can now. Okay, we have to skip this part now. I apologize for the inconvenience about the sound. So let's head into the game. To skip everything I was preparing now. I'm sorry for that. But let's head into the qualifying session. We have, I can't see how much time, they did not fix, 6 minutes to go. A lot of new people are here. Let's focus on the qualifying as of right now. Supermax and Nocebo haven't set a time. Pleasant Snake, who is a reserve driver and joining us for the first time tonight, is on an in-lap. And we currently have Nico Rassenberg in the McLaren, who joined McLaren with a front wing damage after last season being with Alpine. Let me know if sound is good for you. Pole position is currently held by Control with 11.7, just in front of the current world champion and the guy who wants to defend his title in critical damage. And after that is very close. A lot of people with a 12.1. And let's see if we can jump on board someone who is currently on a lap. That doesn't seem to be a lap. That's also way slower. And there's a spin, just caught that. Sveda just spun at the exit of 7 knows to be very cautious about rejoining the track. With a little bit less of action, I'd like to welcome you to tonight's Sim Racing Heat Season 5 opener for the NSA Pro. And my name is Someone26. I apologize again for the audio issues and hope we can have still a good last shootout from the remaining 4 minutes and 45 seconds of this 18-minute qualifying session. And after that, obviously, a 50% race. Quick notice for you, that is very important. We don't have Nordic with us here anymore, and the current teams have been mushed up and put new together. And there have been some familiar faces, but also 7 new drivers, as Jack, who is partnering Moksha. Had a very good run at the end of last season for the Williams. After the first sector, he is up by some time and is currently looking to beat critical on the provisional time of a 1 minute 11.8, although that will only be P2. And he heads into the second split, but he is currently slow by just over a tenth. As more and more people get out last minutes of this qualifying session. As we are also packed tonight. Full house, 20 drivers. And Nocebo has just completed a lap that puts him P17 with a 14.3 as Bosnian Helmet just moves within 0.02 of a second of Control, who still has the opportunity to beat that time he has previously set. Let's look to Andy. Kismakus has retired on track and will not continue this qualifying session. Moksha has retired in the pit lane, and there is the Ferrari of Kismakus. He will not improve from his position, that is P18 at the moment. Fellison also retired. He will not improve upon his P5 at the moment. And Andy has just backed out of it. It's 3 seconds slower than his previous attempt. Let's see the other Mercedes. Who's that? That's Kovetska into the pits. And after that, that's an out for Pies. And after that, that's Nico. No, that's not Nico. That's Nocebo, who's starting again. And after that, there's an Bosnian Helmet who's also into the pit lane. Now I have to see which color. Okay, this is the new color. This looks very close to the old Red Bull, but that's fine, I guess. That's still an outlap, and control seems to doesn't seem to be doing another one, so that might be a charge lap. As Nico Rasenberg goes into P1 with a provisional timer of 1 minute 11.4. That's over 0.3 of a second faster than the previous best time. As Slayer has started another lap, and as his teammate Shaza, also a new guy, starting his next lap. And Andy is aborting his run, and he will only finish in P11. One of the only drivers who not only had a pole position and a win and some podiums, apart from Nordic and Critical. Last time we raced, that's not Supermax. Where's the other horse? That's Pleasant Snake, who's starting his final attempt now. There's a Ferrari of Critical Damage who's starting his final run now. Then we get John Meister on his final attempt, starting also now. The next is Sveda also starting. So everyone is heading onto the straight for the final time to start their lap. There is nothing left for Supermax to get out of this car. No ERS, but he got over the time. Rasenberg has just crashed. That's an Alpine next. That's not Bosnian. Oh, that's a Williams. These blue tones are gonna give me the ick. Jack over the line. Final attempt from him. 12.1. That's barely missed out. Then that's Pies into P12. His teammate is next. Currently in 7th. Stays 7th. The second McLaren. No Sibo. Has pitted. Then we have Snake pitted. No improvement. Critical over the line. What can he do? He improves to a 1 minute 11.3. Provisional pole for the current Drivers' Champion, John Master, partnering Fellison this season. He goes up to into P5. Very good attempt from him. Sveda, invalid. Next car. Control. Doesn't improve. Then we have the Kick Sauber. Invalidated. And Slayer has parked up. So there is no improvement from any other drivers. And that's pole position on race 1 for Critical Damage in front of Nico Control, who's a new driver from Hungary. And then Bosnian Helmet in front of John Meister, who beats his team at Fellison on the first outing. And Jack is holding up Williams' team name because he just finished in 6th. And some people with big names from last season are down below. Andy is only 11th. Kovatska, who was Constructors World Champion, together with Critical Damage, is only in 16th. Krankok didn't even set a time. Moksha only 15th. He has some work to do. And judging by the pace I normally know from Pleasant Snake, that is also not the best time he could do. Kannst du bitte nicht auf Deutsch schreiben? Ich will das nicht auf Deutsch beantworten im Video. Das hat mich letztes Jahr schon genervt. Warum keine Facecam? Weil das für mich nicht dazu gehört. Finde ich ganz komisch. Schulter ist gezählt, habe ich gelesen. Gute Besserung. Okay, let's go. Let's go through it one more time. Ferrari on top, Scuderia. HP with Critical Damage in front of Nico Control. Brings Visa Cash App. First outing to a good start. Boss in the helmet, John Meister, Jack in front of Fellison. Then it's Gianpai, Shaza, Sveda, Andy Andre, Pies, Pleasant Snake, Slayer, Moksha, Kovatska, No Sibo, Supermax. Then a very uncompetitive time for Kismakus as his teammate takes the pole position, and Cranklock didn't even have a time, but he was retired before we headed into the qualifying session. And now there is the race upon us. Let me take some. And there's rain. We have rain for race 1 in Spain. And that looks like intermediate conditions to me, as well as the tires in the pit lane to me there. That's interesting. Unfortunately, I'm not familiar with the time, so maybe people were not putting the best of dry pace because of setups. Okay, let's make a quick one here. So we got the calendar for the upcoming season in front of us. First off, it's Spain, it's Austria, then it's Great Britain, Canada in between, then it's synced again with Hungary, Belgium, then it's Japan, Miami, Saudi Netherlands. Later we go to Monza and Vegas. Another top speed track after that, it's Baku. Singapore was the season finale originally planned, but it's now moved to the penultimate race. And finally a good final in Brazil once again. 15 races. Preseason I couldn't cover, unfortunately for you, so we have to go into this blind. And the race is underway, and there's a lot of parking. Why is there no hut? And there's a migration host, so I assume we have a restart because there's lots of shit going on. Yeah, people are leaving the session. Okay, that's fine. And there's a safety car. Okay, I'm lucky then. I can give you everything I wanted to do beforehand. And we got the lineup again for you on the screen right now. It's John Meister with Fellison. Fellison was previously with McLaren, and John Meister is joining this league first time. Andy stayed at Mercedes, has been joined by the Constructors World Champion of Kovetska. There's also be a shift obviously for Ferrari then. Kismakus, known as Escrat, has moved to Ferrari. Nico and Nocibo both stayed together, were previously at Alpine. Gianpai and Falo. Falo is today replaced by Pies, a reserve driver from the right hand side, as you can see. Or Pies, yeah, let's go with Pies. Or Pies. Let's go with Pies. Has been replaced by Pies for tonight at Aston Martin. They had barely any running last season. Kranjok moved from what is now VCAP, previously AlphaTauri, to Alpine. Bosnian helmet is new. Williams has Jack and Moksha. Moksha stayed at the team. Sveda and Control into AlphaTauri / VCAP. So they completely renewed their lineup. Sauber has once again signed with Katja, who was out after the first part of last season, and Slayer has moved from Haas to Sauber. But for tonight we have Shaza instead of Katja, and at Haas Siak is replaced by Pleasant Snake, and Supermax, who was at AlphaTauri, is now in the Haas as well. We got plenty of reserves as well. Andy from England, Kezia, from Hungary. Then we have Sinful from Austria. Show Me Formula, who raced in Singapore once. Then we got Quincy, T-Bran, Free Pain, Shaza, Pleasant Snake, Pais. All of them are in play if needed. And then we have a quick look at the track map for tonight. Obviously, this calendar is synced up with the real one, and if there are breaks, races will be filling in. So for tonight, we got obviously the Spanish Grand Prix with the circuit, the Barcelona Catalunya, and there's been some modifications in previous years. In 2021, we got the turn 10 that has been remodeled as a better flow now. It's less of a heavy braking zone. Also, it was previously a good opportunity to dive, but now has been accustomed to make racing on MotoGP and Moto2 as well a bit more easy. Obviously, the removal of the last chicane in 2023 has been a great addition, and it's fun to drive and easier to follow, so you can make passes into turn 1 despite that being not a heavy braking zone. And obviously turn 9, 7 and 8, probably the 3 corners to look out for the most. Very tricky to get right, especially with degrading tires. And also turn 13, infamous for the invisible bump that has been appearing on this year's game so far, so we have to be a bit cautious with that if that hasn't been removed so far. I was told it was. After that, people were telling me it has been still in place. Let's see. Oh, there's been already up too soon. Okay. Full grid. Yes. We are currently trying to get the people back into the lobby since there's been a restart due to someone pressing too early. See if the rain was correctly in play, or if they're gonna redo the weather. Is there any room for a spectator? You want to commentate with me, my friend? Am I hearing things right? No, just to watch. There is, but I would like you to ask Fellison beforehand. I don't want to make that decision. Technically there is, yes. I'm not that brave yet. Well, in that case, enjoy your stay, make yourself comfortable, and enjoy the show. One day. Okay, one more guy needs to be hopping in, and one more needs to select their car, which is currently Nocebo. And both V-carbs are still missing, as I can see. One is in. Okay. Come on, Osibo, it's not that hard. Select a car. Okay. We'll be heading back into the session. Still with the usual pause for people to select strategies and everything. So let's talk favorites for the season, maybe. Obviously, I don't know about the new guys, but qualifying pace is usually not the indicator you should maybe go by. So I'm just gonna go with Nico and critical damage because they have been consistent in race paces, especially. Nico had some issues here and there, that is true. Hasn't collected the results he maybe wanted or was deserving of. And let's see who else can establish themselves. I just know some people who will probably be at the back front, and that is unfortunately Kismukus, also Supermax and Crankyok probably. Moksha will have a hard time, I assume, to find himself in the points. He has stated multiple times in the previous season that he was on the podium because people in front of him who were faster fucked a bit up, and that might help him get into the points, but I would assume not on the podium anymore. And that some high quality drivers have now joined the grid to make his life harder. Also, reserve drivers are obviously collecting points, especially for themselves, and taking away some. So yeah, it's gonna be hard if people keep missing that even full-time drivers stay in it. So that's gonna be also one thing to look out for. So we're still gonna be having the wet start with the intermediate tires, which I'm looking forward to. Reading myself. I really wish the spectator could change stuff right now. Because now I have to speedrun this with the HUD. If it's even there. And we go to 5 red lights. And away we go. Everyone on the intermediate tires. I don't see shit. Critical is in front of Nico. Control side by side with John Meister heading into the first 10. They're side by side. The sister teams. And there are multiple cars going very sideways into the first time around of asking for turn 3. And it's very close with Nico and Critical. And the Williams is on the inside. Down into turn number 5 on the outside. There's been a yellow flag. Briefly caused by the second Ferrari. And Nico has taken the lead. From Critical. Control is under pressure by John Meister. And there's already a gap from 4th to 5th. Because Jack is over a second behind. And obviously there's no DRS. And there's a scrap going on here. There's Sveda on the inside of Fallison, who has been moved to 10th. And Bosnian Helmet is in 16th already. He has been moved back because of starting the race too early. At the front it has calmed down, but we are looking at this battle with Pleasant Snake and Kovatska. As the first guys complete the first lap. I don't... Why is this so pixelated? Snake is on the inside there. No Sibo moves past. No, it has been passed by Bosnian Helmet. You can see Alpine ahead of the McLaren there. Everyone is struggling and there's an oversteer moment. And Nocibo loses another place. So Slayer now has been up into 16th now. And Control has already lost some time, and there's a spin from Crank York into turn number 4, and he has lost now a position to Kismukas and is down into last. Oversteer moment from Control as we approach turn 10 for the second time. But John Meister thinks of it better. And Gianpai has hands full with Andy and Fallison around the outside. Oh, there's a tap on the inside from Fallison now. As Andy tried to navigate a different line through this weather. And Fallison has moved past Andy and is now in the hunt to gain 7th place. As the top 2 have checked out. That's 3 seconds of a gap after 3 laps. Very impressive. There's a lot of spray still, as you can see, and Bosnian Helmet has moved past Pies and is up into 14th. And Alpine on the move. Don't really see this on these days. And there's the inside line for fellas now, who takes away P7 from Gianpai, and now there's been contact with Andy down into turn number 5. Andy is ahead, going into 7, and there's a slow domino effect for the cars behind, because you can't brake as sharp and as easy. Oh, that's the wrong button, sorry. As in the wet. As in the dry. Sveda. There's a yellow flag. That's Kismukus. Sveda is under pressure from Moksha, who's up into 11th. Obviously got handed a place from Bosnia being moved back. Bosnian helmet being moved back. But he's still on the charge. Another position up top. And gaps are forming. Unlike the area in this game. These drivers build gaps. Yes, management also gonna be very difficult this year. You can select between the usual overtake and medium ERS modes. Also disable the ERS mode again. And also have none deployed. And there's a move on the outside from the V-Carb. John Meister has passed control. So one V-Carb up a place, one V-Carb down a place. Is there a chance for Jack on the inside? No, there's not. Oh, this battle here, what is this? Gian Pai is losing more and more position. He was P12. He is P12, 13 now. He's been demoted to 13th. He's 14th now. He was 7. He was in P7 just a couple of laps ago. There's a side-by-side moment with no Sibo and Slayer. The McLaren on the outside and the Kicksauber pulls back behind the McLaren just in time to avoid a collision. Fellerson has moved past Shaza into 6th. This guy in the red is a fucking nightmare to be racing against. He is so fucking quick and he's showing that. Despite the relative post-start, because I think he was starting in 6, as you can see. Let's go back to this battle here. So Sveda has now a gaggle of cars behind him. And 4 seconds up the road is nothing. So this seems to be like the fight for the last points. For the last points playing positions. And it has calmed down a bit. Nico, 2.6 seconds ahead, is pulling a gap to critical. We have no idea how the weather is going to evolve. But on my screen, there's no more rain. As I just say that, there's no more rain. And it might be time, sooner rather than later, to change tires. And then it's going to be interesting, because I don't think you want, in this weather, to be on hards. Rather maybe have a 2-stop. As Gian Pai pulls into the pit lane. Let's have the tires enabled. There was nothing working from him. After Fellison passed him, he has just been going backwards. And there's a medium tire on the Aston Martin now, and that's a gamble. I feel like it's worth taking. And there's a 10-second time penalty for Supermax. And there's another little flag for Kismikus. These guys are about to be lapped soon. There's a lot of squirming going on here. Pleasant Snake is trying to control the cars. Now on the inside of Bosnian helmet. Side by side. There's a 3-second time penalty for John Meister. That is currently costing him the podium. There's a yellow flag for Supermax. There's been a pit stop from Miko now. More and more dry tires are being fitted. Nico onto the hards. He wants to finish his race on this tire. And also Snake is into the pit lane. Let's see if there is more shit going on. There was Kismakus on the inside line. What is this IP? There's a virtual safety car now. Which IP is that? That's Krankjork, who's into the wall. There's another wing chopped off. So who disqualification for Trankyog. Stuck there maybe. What the fuck? Just wanted to put down that Jianpai pitted for mediums. I'm wondering if this helps critical or if this helps. Must be critical. Driver penalty for Moksha on a VSC. That's gonna be interesting. So pit stops now. John Meister is continuing, so it's a double. It's a Red Bull 1-2 at the moment. More and more people are pitting. Critical decides to go for the medium. So let's see where. Oh, give me the Ferrari for fuck's sake. And Nico has passed him by a mile. That was the wrong decision, despite the gaps being freezed by the VSC. And he's also behind Jack and Control. And he's just been completely white now. And as obviously everyone is on the cold tires. Let's see how Nico is moving through the field now. As there's another yellow flag from the Ferrari of Kismukus. I don't get why these people have not pitted. I think John Meister and Feddersen are going to be losing out horribly here. Because they're going to be struggling. Oh, there's a spin. There's a spin. Control is spun, and there's another virtual safety car. And then that's going to give the intermediate tire, the people on the intermediates, a freer pit stop than they would have normally had after this VSC previously. So that's gonna be their saving grace. As Control is probably gonna be very furious with him. Be careful in the pit lane entry. Drive-through penalty for Andy. There's a drive-through penalty for Andy. It's Feddersen still hasn't pitted, which I find very surprising. And Andy has spun. And he has lost his wing as well. What is going on? And he receives a drive-through plus has a crash at the exit of 2. And then Shazan probably needed to let it by because of the yellow flag. And there's a retirement for Kismukus. Everyone is going everywhere. Like, stay on the track, please. It's hard to follow you already. There's Pies off the track, has lost multiple positions now. Kismukus has retired in the pit lane, will not continue on. And there's a race between 4th and 5th as Jack is being followed closely by Critical's only better tire now. There's a pit stop for Feddersen who might have been saved by everything that has just happened. And he will only lose a couple of places. There's a huge scrap going on here in turn 10. There's Shaza, there's Pleasant Snake, and there's Bosnian Helmet, all on very different tires. And around the outside, tries it. Dahas, is he ahead? They're still going side by side, and he has moved past him. But will not receive the DRS. And Feddersen is still out. And there's a faster lap by Pleasant Snake as Kismukus AI just completely wiped off the braking markers. There has been a pass from Critical onto Jack, as there's a 7-second gap already from the net race leader, that is Nico. There's a spin almost for Nocivo as he has been passed by Sveda. And there's a... what is this here? There's a new gap formed behind Pleasant Snake, who's probably trying to extend the gap now with these new fresh medium tires, and is probably on the 2-stop. And people have been doing mistakes despite having different tires, and I don't know what Fellison is doing. I think you should have pitted a long time ago. For John Master, it worked out. He even stayed ahead of Nico, who has just received a 3-second time penalty on top. And Bosnian Helmet and Kovatska have all passed Fellison. And he is close to the Mercedes, as Control has taken the new fastest lap of the race. And Moksha has passed Nocebo. Seems to be struggling. Moksha has front wing damage. I don't know what happened here. There has been maybe a spin for Fellison. Yeah, the new tires are not heating up very nicely, I can tell you that. And people have been too aggressive on the outlaps. That has cost Andy, has cost Control, nearly costed Fellison as well. This race is just carnage. And it is all over the place. Not the fastest lap here. There's a scrap for 13th. As Sveda is being hunted down by Gianpai. And gaps are opening up more and more. And the two people at the front who have a 3-second time penalty are currently not affected by it. But that still can change as Gianpai has moved past the V-Carb and is now into 13th, trying to hunt down Nocebo and Moksha. Both on Hearts. The weather is still overcast, so I expect the Hearts not to work as great as they could work if you look at a sunny, beautiful day. And Fellison also has a move past Kovatska as critical. So that's another fastest lap of the race. He needs to push on because he still needs to pit. And I would assume that would be a stop later for him to go to the soft tires. And if it's anything like the real thing, then our hands are gonna be shit against the softs. And Kovatska is keeping up with Fellison, who hasn't really caught up to Bosnian Helmet, who's also maybe a bit of help from Pleasant Snake, who's now into P5. And he's in 17th with 17 seconds behind the next car. And Nico has front wing damage. Nico has front wing damage. He has closed the gap to John Meister. What does the S look like? 80% for the Red Bull in front. And there's a 3-second time beneath the Supermax. So this is Verstappen against Norris all over. Despite there not being a Ferrari in 3rd place. Oh, that was close! They have touched. I'm pretty sure they have touched. Nico moves past John Meister. But there has been contact on lap 14 after the lead has changed. When Nico had attempted an overtake on the Red Bull. Critical is closing in with good steps now. He's taking bites out of the lead, and there's a 4-way strap now. Nocibas pass Moksha and Jianpai and Control are all over the back of them. And judging by the qualified pace, there's been a crash. I don't know if he locked the brakes or if Jianpai hit him in the rear diffuser. But Control has lost control of his car. And there's a pass again. There was an overtake attempt from John Meister maybe there. Okay, let's stay with the battle to front, maybe. And there will probably no pass into this section. Okay, Jianpai is closer to Moksha than Moksha is to Nocibo. And also there's front wing damage on the left hand side. So turns to the right are very difficult for the Williams right now. But the overspeed with the DRS and probably the ERS is enough for Moksha to get past Nocibo on the inside again. And Jianpai is not able to capitalize off of that. Let's go back. And here's another time penalty. And there has been a change for the lead again. And the Ferrari is closing in, as you can see in the background. Oh, a lockup! A lockup from John Meister. Oh, sorry. Wrong button. Oh, Nico takes these corners despite the front wing. Way better than his competitor. Oh, and there's been a mistake from Nico. And now Critic is right on the back of him. Jesus Christ. And both of them have a 3-second time penalty. But Critic still needs to pit. Turn 10 is obviously not easy to handle with the understeer here from the McLaren, and the Ferrari is trying to get him now on the straight. And there have been 2 yellow flags now, previously caused by Aston Martin, and now it's Jack. He's lost 2 positions now, and there has been a loss of front wing from Critical after maybe a late move from Nico. That seems to be it, yeah. And now he has lost front wing. Frost has lost a front wing end plate on the right hand side as Pleasant Snake Moose is being passed by Fellison and Jake and Bosnian Hammett as well. He was in 4th. I just switched back from that, and he was in 4th. So there has been. How on earth do I catch all of these battles and moments? Jesus Christ, it's gonna be a long season. So this is very controversial. Was there moving on the straight from Nico that caused the front wing aim plate from Critical to be chopped off, as Control has had another mistake? Right hand side is better than left hand side. There's literally nothing Nico can do now, because he has been low on ERS for some time now. And they have just passed Supermax on the main straight. That is the group of P4 to P7. Oh, and slight oversteer moment there from Nico. As the brake does, but oh, Nico's into the gravel. He completely outbraked himself. I was maybe surprised by how much Pitek was breaking into that turn. And he will not like these hearts for the rest of the race, I can tell you that. The sun is coming out a bit through the for the cloud. Nothing major though. It's control 30-second time penalty for him. Nothing major. Still in the overcast. Section of the weather selection menu. Not cloudy or partly cloudy. Let's look at this battle. Bosnian Helmet has the pace to get away from from Jack, and he is under pressure now for Fellison, and that was an easy and slam dunk pass for the Red Bull. Was also on a different strategy than the guys around him, and Snake has had to drop off 2 seconds now. Still not under pressure from Kovatska, who's 9 seconds behind on a tire that's 1 lap younger than he is. Oh, and there's a moment for Fellison again! Another moment in turn 5. And Slayer has a 3-second time penalty. He's currently in 15th. That was late on the brakes, or just in general wrong brake price for this turn. And obviously with the DRS he is getting on the second straight on his track. He can stay with Jack. Was probably not gonna like this. Nico has dropped off. And there's a Aston Martin Abdul of 9 just getting out of the way. Fellison has moved past Jake again. And Osibo's under pressure. There's a pit stop from Kovatska now. With 13 laps to go, that might be the time for the soft. Another medium if he feels like it. Hards! Why? I question his choice. There's more action with Moksha in control. Moksha still suffering from that one doing damage, and Control is able to take different lines through turn number 3, and he has passed Moksha into turn number 4. Good move. He knows how to race, but it wasn't missed. And there's another 3-second time penalty for Nico, who's under pressure from the lap car of Sveda, as Fellison takes the new fastest lap. Bosnian and Fellison are moving in on Nico. And there is Control, as we can see in our picture. And there's been a yellow flag because of Nico. And there's a multiple car crash because he's on the track and there's a safety car now. I wouldn't be surprised if it is a red flag. There's a 10-second time penalty for the collision. Maybe Sveda and Nico had a collision at the exit of turn 2. And 2 cars are out, including Fellison and Sveda, who wasn't running a point at that stage, and Nico is the only one out of these 3 to continue. I don't know if more people had damage. And Nico's into the wall because there's no front wing left. And couldn't get the car to slow down. So let's see what the people are doing. Multiple people have been pulled into the pits. There's a hard tire from Control. I don't get this. And John Meister is not gonna like this because now more people are on the back of him. Why he has a 3-second time penalty. There's now 60 seconds for Nico. And other people with 3 seconds worth of time penalties. As I just said, Supermax gets another one. Bosnian Helmet is up 17 places. This even surpasses starting position. Pleasant Snake is pitting as well. The rest is coming in now. So does Critica in second. Okay, T-Bran. That's a bit late, maybe. Bosnian third. 4 for Jake. Snake is in fifth. And Shaza is coming out ahead of Kovetska, who didn't pit. Maybe, and since we are under the safety car conditions, maybe, Sveda tried to unlap himself from Nico, and they had contact into turn number 1 or at the exit of 2, and then as we switched to that camera view of Nico, he was sideways on the track, and the next car that was about to hit them was Fallison. He didn't, from my memory, he didn't seem to be moving at that time. But he also probably couldn't move, because he was maybe beached. That's probably gonna be tough to decipher without a replay now, as Fallison has no left decision. That is very unfortunate, because he has a very strong pace and would have been in a good shot for the podium now if the safety car that has been caused by him or with him involved were to come out without him retiring. So yeah, with him being on the different strategy, he made up time on the medium and then moved past people to get back into the top 6. But unfortunately, he is out now. Kovacs can control state on the hards. They're gonna hate this warm-up now. Tire warm-up on the new game is currently very difficult. And Andy is still in 15, but he is back a bit, let's say. Obviously, he had to serve the drive-through penalty. He is also on 3 seconds. 5 places down. Nico is down by 9. 6 for control. Yeah, and the people with the most wins are currently Bosnian Helmet, who's in a shot for not only the podium but also maybe the win. And Supermax is letting people pass as we get this race back underway. I'm just gonna keep this off now and jump back to P1 as the safety guy has been put. Oh no! I didn't like this sudden stop on the minimap. And there's been more wing damage now. Drive-through penalty for ignoring yellow flag for Nico. He's gonna hate this day. Oh, what happened to John? What happened to John Meister? What the fuck is going on? Nico just crashed into the pit lane entry. We are underway. No, there's another safety car apparently. No, the thing is gone. Okay, never mind then. But there's immediately a new yellow flag. John Meister and Nico just... I don't know what is just happened there. There's a huge dive from John Meister. What is this open lobby right now? Sorry guys. You've been good today. But this is just carnage. Sprint race is just carnage now. Jack has been dived by John Meister into first turn. It's now under pressure. Now it's putting pressure onto Bosnian Helmet. And he has passed him. He's back into second place. Let's see who can keep up with them. There's a lot of brake dust coming off as people enter the 7-8 chicane. Jake is on a very high ERS load here at the moment. What was this restart, Jesus Christ? And Nico is retired, on track. Into the wall maybe? No safety car whatsoever at the moment. And just left the session. This is just awful and painful to watch at the same. What is going on here? There's Andy on the inside of control and Moksha. He couldn't get past Slayer, maybe in the second phase of turn 4. Nocebo is still ahead of Pies. And then he has moved past Slayer. Nothing has changed at the front, but the gaps are close. See if Andy can move past Nocebo as soon as possible. Oh, there's been a wide moment. The Mercedes is putting pressure onto the McLaren, and he has passed him into turn number 10. Oh, that was a huge exit from Nocebo to get past Andy again. Obviously, Andy is also on the medium tire, which really doesn't help. It's also 4 laps old. Bosnian has moved past John Meister, and Nocebo has moved past Pies. There's so much action going on. It's an opportunity for Andy now. That would be very risky to try to outbrake a car that is falling another car close behind. People have been outbraking themselves in turn number 5 today, and that might be an opportunity. John Meister still has DRS from Bosnian Helmet, but it's under pressure from Jack. And he still has his 3-second time penalty. I still have no idea what happened to him at the restart. Oh, Nocebo side by side with Pies again. On the outside, there's the Aston Martin now. Oh, nice move. But there's a counter attack probably now coming. Shaza has moved past Pleasant Snake for P5, and there's now a free wide moment for a short amount of time. Andy is trying to make mincemeat of them. As he's side by side with Nocebo, he's still on the inside of turn number 3, and he has dispatched 2 cars now and is back into the points paying position despite him having still 3-second time penalty. He still can pull this off if he finds the rhythm to get back and maybe into the DRS zone of his teammate ahead and save himself from being demoted by 3-second time penalty. So this has been declustered right now, and he's also close to his teammate already into the DRS zone. And I wish I could move my eyes one by one so I can look at the minimap to see if at the front is something happening. Oh, there's been a moment for Critical. Has he been hit by the infamous invisible bump at Catalonia? And there's now Bosnian Helmet leading the race. The guy who started in last after accidentally pressing the ready up button too soon with 5 laps to go. And the driver behind him who has a 3-second time penalty. Could this be the win on debut for him? We have the crazy race on our hands now, and it has been gotten even more crazier with the mistake from Critical. Maybe he was too close to this bump. Maybe he had a mistake after maybe locking into the corner. I have no idea what happened, but immediately after the yellow flag came out, there was something to be discovered. What the fuck? Critical is now under pressure from Snake. Has lost a bit of time to Shaza. And Andy has moved past Kovalska. There's a lot of blinking going on here. And John Meister moves into the... Oh, the touch! Very aggressive move from John Meister. And there's another collision at the back. And Bosnian is out of the session. And there's another safety car and a 10-second time penalty for Bosnian. John Meister, what are you doing? That was way too aggressive. You just completely knocked out Bosnian helmets. What a disaster for the Alpine driver. Oh my word. He's gonna be fuming. Like Michael Schumacher in Belgium 1998. Oh my word. And now Czech is leading the race. I need to get to the mental asylum after that. Holy Christ. Now Snake is into third after that collision. I don't know who else was involved in that. Someone else hit him. I'm pretty sure. Oh my god. That's gonna be 2 laps of safety car. Then we're gonna have a restart at the start of lap 32. And then it's just gonna be more carnage. John Meister's pulling into the pits. Why? Oh, no tires, okay. Yeah, I didn't realize they had 8 laps on them. And he has returned to the pit lane! And Kovalska as well! No, you gotta be kidding me! This is a joke now. This is a joke now. Oh my, what? It's a double DNF for Mercedes in the pit lane! You can't make this shit up! And there's a 10-second time penalty for severe collision with Andy. For Slayer. No, no! Please! Stop! Stop it! You... No... No. There are 12 people left. And P12 is currently 15 because he's so far behind the next guys. I don't even know if Supermax is still racing himself. Looks like AI to me at the moment, if I'm totally honest. What the fuck is happening? Andy probably must have hit the pit lane entry, and then Kovalska just piled onto the back of him. And Supermax has just passed Bosnian helmet. And Control still is not in the pits. The thing is, he has the pace to move past people. He should have pitted for the softs when the safety car prior to that came out. Get himself some positions and then drive into gaps people were creating by battling so late in the race. Now Supermax has passed everyone. Is still a lap behind. Oh my god, we lost 8 people in the weirdest way possible. So Crankjork, I think, I don't know if he didn't want to reset to the track or not, was stuck, caused the VSC. Kismakus later retired in the pit lane, probably didn't think anything was gonna happen. Sveda had a collision with Nico and Fallison. Both instantly retired. Nico could continue. Then Nico almost crashed himself out at turn 5. Later crashed himself at the exit of 9. And then we have just seen John Meister completely dive on the inside of Bosnian helmet, spin him around, and the next car that hits him kills him basically. And then he's DNF as well. And then under the safety car, as a result of that, Andy and Kovacs car both crash into the pit lane entry wall. You just can't make this shit up. Okay, so Jack is our new race leader. For 2 laps. 2 more laps. He has to complete this course to be the winner of the opening race of season 5. He's still warming tires, the safety car. It's not over the line. He's still slowing. I'm looking at the throttle input, and he is gone. He has pulled the trigger. And it's gonna be 1. And John Meister moves into position. Jake has been a bit poor on the brakes there. I think that move was coming. But there's time penalties, and he's probably gonna be questioned by the stewards how he defends this move on the inside of Bosnian. And now Jake needs to be sure he's the first guy to be benefiting from the penalty of there's an ad break now, thanks Twitch. John Meister has put 1.2 seconds already. And Snake is under pressure. So is Gian Pai. Is there a move coming from Snake? Yeah, there's a move coming from Snake. That is for the race win. If they don't... Oh, there's another collision! Critical! And Gian Pai have come together, and after that there's a rear-end collision with Price. And Critical is down into P10. And Snake has moved past Jack. But it's a 2.7 gap. What is the time penalty? 3. He needs to be within 2 tenths now. And they're battling so hard they're losing out on it. And no one is currently benefiting from the time penalty. If they continue battling like this, and John Meister seem to have the pace. There's no dive coming. Snake just needs to ace this last sector. But John Meister seemed to have pulled 3.4 seconds now. John Meister is coming across the final turn. He's gonna finish in first. And with the penalty only being 3 seconds, he stays there for the moment. Snake gets an incredible P2. Then it's Jake from Gian Pai. Moksha, who is into P5. Shaza. Then it's No Stable Slayer. Is in 8th. Then we have Control, who's in 9th. Critical. Benefits from penalties. Pies is in P11, the last of the running cars. Because Supermax has been lapped. And that's it. That's it. After 33 laps of pure chaos at the Spanish GP. Moksha as your driver today. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Oh, another Romanian. Okay. So there's your podium. A Romanian in front of a Norwegian. And the third guy was... British? Yeah, Jack is British. Okay. Jesus Christ. What the fuck? Double points for Kick Sauber. Which they haven't even done in the real life thing. Jesus. I just need a fucking light on after this. Honestly. What the fuck? What the fuck? Okay, let's get a quick break, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the driver's interview room. We have John Meister on the microphone now. Congratulations, John, to winning the first race of the season. That was a eventful one, to say the least. How are you feeling after this race?
Thanks, guys. Yes, it was an eventful race. I feel okay. I think I had a bit of luck with the safety cars and stuff like this, but the pace was pretty good. Hello.
There was a moment later on in the race where you had tried to overtake Bosnian Helmet was leading race at that stage. Then he was spun around and retired from the race. How do you see this collision from your perspective?
I need to see the replays. I think I was ahead. I think he closed the door on me. I don't know exactly, honestly.
Okay, yeah. Just want to get your first insight. I don't know if do you have previously raced in league racing? Because
Yeah.
you okay. So what are your expectations of the next race coming up? Is Austria? Do you like this track or do you just absolutely hate it?
It's something in between. I don't like it, but I don't hate it. It's an okay track.
Okay. Everything seems to be mixed up now. More and more people joined this grid for the upcoming season we just have opened with this race. What are your expectations? Do you think with this win, that was a good reflection of the pace you currently have on this game, and if you can bring down our current champion, or was this just a bit of extra luck compared to your usual pace?
I think it's a bit of a luck, honestly. But we'll see on the next few races if my pace is gonna be stronger or not.
Okay, then I wish you very well for Austria, and see you next time.
Thank you. Thank you. See you guys.
See you.
Bye.
Next up, we have the reserve driver of Pleasant Snake, who has finished in second place today for Haas. Snake, congratulations on your podium. There was quite a fight out there. You had a good amount of battles in this race, and obviously some evasive action in front of you. How was the race for you?
Yeah, it was an eventful race for me. It was kind of it was in the start there also we could actually after pitted to the first rise we had like a good stint as well before without any disturbance of safety cars. So was able to actually play the game a bit, not just safety cars. So it was nice. I didn't really expect to be on the podium starting P13, but yeah, stuff happened during this race.
Yeah,
It was
you were mentioning the rain and these changing to the slick tires. Most of the people went for the hard tires, and as we have seen yesterday in the real life Spanish Grand Prix, the hards didn't seem to favor a lot of cars and were generally not discussed as an option. Were you going for the medium at the start of the dry phase?
yeah, I didn't want to go for hards because the hards are so hard. It's impossible to get them into temperature when the track is like it was when it's still a bit moist. So I would rather go for mediums to actually get the grip within a few laps instead of like driving 4 laps, just sliding around. Even if it was quite slippery with the mediums, the first laps there as well. It kind of looked dry, but the track was still kind of wet. It was super slippery.
Yeah,
So yeah.
there was also a display of some other drivers, namely Andy, who lost the car with his cold hard tires. Yeah, obviously you're only a reserve, so that's going to be hard to keep up good points throughout the season. But I still expect probably some spots to be open. How do you feel your pace was when you started the qualifying for tonight? Did you feel like there was like points in it tonight, or maybe just being best of the rest, or what were your expectations for the race?
I was expecting to be in the points, but I wasn't really. I was hoping for a podium, but yeah, my quality did go to shit, kind of. My first run was decent, but then my second and third run was horrible. So I didn't really have a good starting position. So at the start of the race, I didn't have the highest expectation, I must say.
Okay.
But yeah, hoping for to joining in some more races next week, Austria, for example. So yeah.
Okay. Then let's see if we see you there again, and congratulations again on your second place.
Thank you.
Okay, let's head to the next guy on the podium, which is Jack. Jack, congratulations on your first podium in this league. How do you feel?
Thank you. Yeah, good. I didn't expect to be on the podium. I definitely didn't have the pace for the front runners, but tried to stay out of much of the trouble as possible, and yeah, got lucky with a few safety cars.
Yeah, there was a lot of action going on down the field, and especially later at the front. How were you going into the transition phase of the Inter to dry tires, and how were you setting up your car previous to the weather forecast? Were you holding back some pace because of changes to the setup that would help you maybe navigate the rain better, or did you just go full in on a dry setup here?
Yeah, I went fully on a dry setup, but I really struggled. I got onto the hard tires and just had no grip. The people, mediums around me, just were taking advantage of me. It was unbelievable, the difference. But they heated up, started to get in my rhythm, and then safety car came out.
Yeah, that was tricky to get tires working.
Yeah, I got caught up quite a lot. I spun around. I got blue flagged people twice on the racing line, unfortunately. So yeah, that caught me up a little bit as well.
Okay, well, did you see any of the incidents in front of you, like especially the Nico with the back marker, and later with Bosnian helmet and the collision he had with our race winner tonight? Were you in proximity of that?
I saw a lot of incidents ahead of me. I can't say who was at blame, but I was just doing my best to try and avoid them. So yeah, I had a moment where I gained about 3 positions by going through about 3 cars that were all crashed on the side.
Yeah, there was a lot of changing positions because of that tonight. Looking at for the season, obviously you got Austria and 14 other tracks ahead of us. Do you have league racing experience, and if so, what is your current expectation for the upcoming season?
Yeah, I have no idea. I think I'll be sort of toward the top of the middle pack, I'm hoping. I done a lot of league racing probably over the last couple of years, but it's normally I've had the racing line on, so this is my first no racing line league. So yeah.
Oh, that must be a confidence boost then.
Yeah, definitely. It's still quite nervous, but getting there.
That's good. Okay, then I wish you the best for Austria. Just a quick check from you there as well. How do you feel about the track?
Not my favourite track, not on this game, but if I put the practice in, should be all right. We'll see how we go on.
Okay, wishing you the best for next time, and hopefully see you on the podium in 7 days' time. Thank you.
Hopefully, thank you. Bye.
Bye. So this has been it. As you can see, 1st of July is going to be Austria, our second race of this season. This was very eventful. I expect lots of penalties to come out. There has been already a lot of discussion in the Discord. I can say you that much. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm sorry for the earlier audio issues. I've been trying to work on the volume levels myself because of previous streams, and where things don't seem to work out with the audio, but I just got echo every time I try to unmute the stream. So I'm gonna try to fix that for next time. Hope you enjoyed the show still. That was very hectic and eventful. In 7 days' time, we're gonna be heading to Austria. Enjoy the race weekend that will be ahead of us come Friday, obviously. And if you want to see more, follow this channel. As Chaza just did 2 minutes ago, thank you very much for the follow. And to see more sim racing heat action from season 5 in the NSA Pro split, you can follow them on YouTube as well. Unfortunately, I don't have a link, but just search it up, and then you can see some of the casts I've been doing at the end of last season, and enjoy them maybe while you wait. And thank you very much for watching. Congratulations again to the top 3 guys, and have a good one. Good night. See you. Ta-da.